concept to injury, that principle is called stabilization. You have to learn that. We're going to see how we do that later on when we come to the clinical. So now, I didn't know about stabilization when I created the new derm. So I didn't know that I can make the melanocytes more obedient. I control them. So that's a principle. Now, but we have to understand also what goes on. The melanocytes distribute, as you can see here, the melanosomes. Those keratinocytes take the melanosomes, and if the distribution is nice and even, you will get the even color tone. If you investigate why some people get melasma or tendency for PIH and some people don't, you have to understand there's genetic factors and could be also hormonal factors. And the biggest accepted theory in my analysis is that some melanocytes have receptors that can be triggered by injury, hormones, or sun. And the one who has a trigger will to start to go crazy and distribute or make more melanin in this area. And the next following slide will illustrate that. Our melanin is two types: real melanin, false melanin. EO and pheo. Pheo, false. You have EO melanin, your darker skin. If you go in the sun, you have nice even color tone, your melanin will turn brown, and you will get tan or you get darker in the sun. This guy had pheo, has no real melanin. Why? Because he has no ability to tan. He will turn red like a tomato. Chawandra. You have pheo. You have EO and pheo. Even black people have some pheo. Because that's what we see in black people sometimes, basal cell carcinoma. So there. However, when the sun hit the pheo, this melanosome explodes. When the melanosome explodes, it releases radicals. The radicals goes to the nucleus, damage DNA of the keratinocyte. And that's how you get damaged DNA and actinic keratosis, common in fair skin, red and dark skin. This will turn brown with the sun and add another protective measure. Now, naturally, watch. Melanin should be distributed horizontally, like this, to give me my even color tone. Having some melanocyte with receptors, let's say this melanocyte had a receptor. She got pregnant, or she got birth control pills, or she had hormonal therapy, boom, stimulated this. Repeated sunburn, boom, stimulated the receptor. So this will go crazy and start producing melanin that goes vertical, not horizontal. If the excess melanin goes toward the stratum corneum, we call that surface melasma, for example. If the pigment goes down below to the dermis, we call that dermal melasma. So now we understand how pigmentation problem starts. Hyperactivities of certain melanocytes in your face and certain areas that are prone to go crazy, produce more melanin. Knowing this will give you the idea how to treat. All of you use hydroquinone. All of us, we use it. In the old days, I never thought hydroquinone was something to worry about. I thought you can use it all your life. Then I found out, after 5 years of Nudel came out on the market, I found out I was wrong. I went to the company. I said, listen, there's the problems here. We have to control hydroquinone. We have to tell patients. We saw later on coming there that they cannot use it on their own without medical supervision and intervention and proper sun protection. The company, no, we don't want that. Leave it alone. We are saying crazy. So anyway, we'll talk about this later. So I invented how to treat pigmentation based on what we have learned. So if I see this woman with pigmentation melasma here, it's not enough just to give her a bleacher. It's not enough only to do bleaching and blending. I'm going to show you what that means. You need to control the melanocytes to achieve this. If you don't control the melanocyte, your treatment will not be effective or adequate. So, the proper function, then reviewing what we learned in the epidermis, we talked about keratinocyte, we talked about melanocyte. So the proper function is, in any treatment, when somebody comes to you, the moment a woman tells you, I have sensitive skin, you have to fix the barrier repair function. She then will have better compliance with the treatment. You cannot ignore it. And you have to restore natural skin exfoliation. By doing that, you maintain the epidermal renewal, you stabilize also later on the epidermis, and you will see that you have great results with your patient. So this is the importance of knowing how to correct or how to say about what we call skin cellular function. Now, dark circles, dullness in the skin, pores are clogged, and the main problem was sensitivity. Every time you start her on a treatment, oh, I can't tolerate it, I cannot make me red and itchy and burning. When you fix the sensitivity, restore normal barrier function, and restore the renewal, now the patient will have stable color skin. Now she will have good results. Now we'll be able to maintain it that way. Finished from the epidermis, we learned about two functions. Natural skin exfoliation, barrier function, have to be repaired. Now we come to the papillary dermis. Now, the papillary dermis is the most active zone in the skin. This is where aging starts, in the papillary dermis. This is where skin dryness starts. You heard about glycosaminoglycans, right? You heard about that, a substance present in the dermis. It's not in the reticular dermis, it's in the papillary dermis. What this glycosaminoglycan do, think of it like a sponge. If you put the sponge, sphinge it, in water, the sponge will take the water. So when the water comes from within, from the circulation, with the blood vessels, to the dermis, to the skin, the water goes and distribute itself throughout the layers. When it reaches the papillary dermis glycosaminoglycan trap the water. When the water is trapped, continuous delivery of water from the papillary dermis to the epidermis, you don't feel dry. That's the proper hydration. That's at the baby skin. No moisturizer, nothing, and looks never made complete. Unless you have atopic dermatitis or a disease. Nobody complains about dryness. When dryness starts, when women start to use products that suppress cellular functions. All those brands you go to department stores spend thousands of dollars on every year are based on one principle: moisturized skin. And then through marketing and advertisement, even dermatologists start to If you don't, moisturizers are good. They are no good. To allow yourself to use a moisturizer, you have to repair, stimulate, correct. Then when you do all that, if you still feel dry, put the moisturizer. See the steps. It's like having a meal, multiple course meal. You don't skip the aperitif and the appetizer and then the main dish and eat dessert. If you eat dessert only, it's a wrong diet. Same thing. So, retinol and retinoic acid can stimulate glycosaminoglycan. So why I'm mentioning this? Because they're going to learn how to control skin from A to Z through the cellular function. So by knowing that, also, this fibrocyte produce collagen, elastin. We have also, they produce enzyme to repair damaged collagen and elastin. So this is an active zone, and we have to keep it active. The activity of the papillary dermis start to deteriorate around age 30. By age 30, your skin is officially starting to age, officially starting to be damaged. So that's why now the newer thing is prevention. This is the newest thing. I'm going to travel all over the world and emphasize it on you and everybody. Prevention. We can prevent acne, we will show you. We can prevent melasma. We can prevent sun damage. We can prevent aging. We can prevent sensitivity, dryness. If we can prevent, see how much you can do? You don't sit down, you know, everybody come to you and keep me looking good. Keep the diseases away. 85% of the population in your country, all over the world, the same thing. They don't come to see the doctor, the dermatologist. They go to the department store. Only 15% of the population have disease after everything, they try everything and give up, they come to you. I want everybody to come to you. I want somebody who wants daily care to come to you. Prevention to come to you. Medical treatment to come to you. When finish the medical treatment, you go back again on maintenance and prevention. You have to have the circle. You have to put you are the brain in the circle, you are the center of the circle, and you are, in your clinic, the club. I provide skin care, proper information, I provide prevention, I provide treatment if when needed, I provide cyania or maintenance. So that's the newest concept. And you have to go work for it. Because once you treat 3-4 people from the family successfully, the whole family, the whole neighborhood will come to you. But you have to be dedicated and have passion and love what you do. So we learned about the function of the papillary dermis. Under the microscope, you will see, if you do your analysis, you will see that this is the basal cell here, this is the basal lamina. The epidermis and the papillary dermis are tied up together with bands, collagen bands. We call those anchoring fibrils. Around age 30, they start to disappear. And that's the earliest sign of aging. You push the skin like this, you start to see wrinkles. Now, if you intervene, you can prevent aging. Go and do your attack on the skin, you will see the band will be reformed again. But if you wait until the skin loses a lot of collagen and elastin and the cells are not functioning, then you need to do procedures now to correct what the pain alone cannot do. Early aging, wrinkles, dullness, no glow, sensitivity and dryness. That's what I call deteriorated skin, neglected skin. And she's using the most expensive brands. So when she comes to me, I'm using the most expensive brand, but nothing is worth. Look at my face. Well, so I started a program. She would ask me, what should I do with the product I just bought? I spent $400-500 on them. I tell her, give them to someone you hate. Why? If this is the end result, you don't give them to someone you love. Or use them on your feet. Can we reverse this? Yes, I can, and you can too. You can. You have to have the passion and the drive to do this. For people who do procedures, for people who do peels, lasers, resurfacing, ablative, non-ablative, all the things, usually every doctor has his own way of trying to treat a patient. All of you try to play it safe, try to avoid complications, and if you are doing TCA, if you don't know the depth, it's a big problem. If you don't know how deep to go and to stop, that's a big problem. So, through years of exposure, after I created the blue peel, after I created parameters for laser and all that stuff, I found still there's something missing. We learned now, this is diagram showing you, this is the epidermis. This black line is the basal cell. Below it, this yellow line is the papillary dermis. Papillary dermis and the upper reticular dermis, this transition area, transformation from papillary to upper reticular, we call this area the IRD, immediate reticular dermis. That is the safe depth. Now, that's a new discovery. Safe depth means, if I do any laser resurfacing, any peel, and this, I don't go below that, the patient will never have hypopigmentation, keloid scars, or damaged texture. So now, I took the blue peel that I created, which was good peel because there's depth sign. I'm going to show you later. There's depth sign you can monitor, but still there's flaws. How deep should I go? Then we learn I have to modify the blue peel. So I modified the blue peel, I modified the texture, I modified the signs to make it more effective to determine the depth. And also we learned, if you limit your peel to the level between the epidermis and the IRD, just the IRD, skin tightened. Tightened. If you go below it, it becomes like the older abrasion. You're sanding the skin so deep, like to make it smooth. I call that process leveling. So leveling is when you go to the upper reticular dermis. If you go deep, that deep, then you have higher chance of hypopigmentation, keloid scarring, and changing skin texture. Now we learned that, and that's now become the essence of the new safe procedure have to follow the depth. You will see why that's important, because remember the old peel, blue peel, usually used to come and say, I had a patient come to me at clinic, I had a blue peel. I look at her, I say, but she still look bad. I say, well, what did you do with the blue? How many days you stayed home to hide or something? Oh, nothing. 2-3 days, just nothing happened. So that's exfoliation. It's not peel. There's a difference between exfoliation and peel. Peel means you have to go below to the papillary dermis. If you go to the papillary dermis or below, that's a peel. So we reorganized the blue peel, we adjusted the blue base, we created a new concentration to fit the criteria that I'm discussing here. Now, look at this damaged skin. Here, now after what discussed so far, what we have discussed. Dullness, dirty looking skin, mean melanocytes working more here, less here, now here, less there, that's called unstable carotid. Pores are clogged, inflammation. If you repair the barrier function, if you treat the condition, if you eliminate sensitivity and dullness, you get a smoother texture. Now, if this patient does not follow a maintenance program to keep skin looking good, the problem can come back. We do not guarantee that, for example, skin is going to age. Can I stop aging? No, I cannot stop aging. So we need to understand that a maintenance program has to follow a treatment program. And this way we try to keep the problem away. Many doctors, they don't really even address the maintenance program. And when the patient comes back complaining, you treated me now, everything, I come back, I wasted my money, blah, 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 blah. You all heard this. We have to tell them, I don't cure you, I fix the problem, God will cure you. Now let's talk about skin classification. This is also a very important step to understand skin. Fitzpatrick skin classification from 1 to 6, it's not a skin classification. He only described the color. 6. Number 1 to 6. 1 is the light skin that always burns. 6 is the black that usually hardly burns. That's it. But doctors, when doing procedure on varieties of patients, they found out that people at, let's say, level type 3 or 4 or 5 have higher rate of pigmentation disorders, so they call it skin classification. Fitzpatrick is a friend of mine. He told me, I didn't introduce skin classification. So I took the classification many steps further to make it more effective. So my skin classification is more effective, oriented to direct the treatment, select the treatment. When you do a process, procedure, peel, laser, whatever you do, to respect the depth, and that's what the new skin classification is addressing other points. So, it helped me to prepare skin. It helped me to do treatment and select the proper treatment for every patient. And these are the factors. Color, thickness, oiliness, laxity, fragility. Those are the factors you have to see in every patient. Color, original, deviated, complex. See how easy I made it? Thickness, thick, medium, thin. Oiliness, oily, dry. Laxity, skin alone or skin and muscle. And then fragility is weakness versus strong. And this will explain so many things to you and take away the mystery. You're going to say, now I understand what things. See, the difference between you dermatology and my dermatology, what I learned in my residency program, is that you consider skin is a wall, you have to address the surface. In skin health restoration, we look at skin as a living organ made of cells that I have to control. If you control the cells, nothing will come to the surface anymore of a problem that, those problems, as I told you before, doesn't come from the sky. So the original. Light white, like Fitzpatrick called it once. Dark black, dark Asian. That's the original. But because the world is now mixed racially, in many ways, you know that you can see a black who have type 3 through mixed black and white. So the black who looks like type 3, what do you call her? 3 or 6? See the confusion? I have yellow Asian, look like type 2 Fitzpatrick. So how you call it type 2? Wrong. Type 2 doesn't have PIH. But for this tip, because the racial mixture and ethnicity mixture, we created deviated group. The deviated group is normal white. People will have reddish tone like the Irish. Summer brunettes. These are deviated white. In the deviated group, where you see the problem, the color is unstable. The original one, the color is stable. So if I do a peel on all those, within 6 weeks their color tone will be back to normal. PIH is rare, but it can happen. Here, definitely they will have PIH, and it takes sometimes 2 to 3 months for the color tone to stabilize. Knowing that will let me program my treatment and create a timetable and tell the patient what to expect when I'm treating them. The complex skin is an entity where it doesn't fit in the 3 originals. For example, an Egyptian, a typical Saudi Arabian, typical UAE Muwatin. These areas, God took the white, the black, and the yellow, and the mixed them all together. And that's called unpredictable skin. The color tone is unstable. I call that complex. Now you understand what the color factor play role. It's important because, notice, original, stable, the color. If you get a PIH, it's very mild, disappear quickly. While the deviated is unstable, and the complex, extremely unstable. Now you understand why we have all this variable response when we treat varieties of medical patients in our clinic. Now you know why somebody PIH is disappearing faster and somebody not fast enough. PIH, color deviated, Asian. After a peel, given hydroquinone, given everything, nothing works. Why? We found another element in the skin classification. Remember, there's one called oiliness. Look how oily her skin is. We found out sebum is the enemy of skin. Now you're going to remember, we have this forever. The sun is the enemy of skin, sebum is the second enemy of skin. We don't need sebum at all, has no function. They taught us in dermatology acid mental and said antibacterial benefit. Baloney. You know that sebum is only start to be produced in the skin after age 10? Before age 10, from babies, there's no sebum, period. Oil glands are not active at all. Why God created those oil glands? حتى يجاكلنا, to piss it off. If you believe in Darwin, forget Darwin. All ducks and monkeys and chimpanzees and gorillas have oil glands to produce sebum to make the fur water repellent. So then get wet. But we humans have no fur anymore. There's no need for sebum. So now I reduced sebum in her face through topical agents, and I treated her, and she responded beautifully. And I'm going to show you now how things will work. You have some question in your mind, I can see. Huh?
Only sebum?
What's mean only sebum?
You stopped only the sebum?
I eliminated the sebum that allowed me to treat her.
Yeah.
You understand? So the sebum is a barrier that creates weaker penetration. Also, sebum is a very powerful inflammatory agent. The second feature, thickness. How do you measure thickness of the skin? From the fold on the cheek. If you measure the fold on the cheek, oh, what happened here? I want to go to the laser.
No, you. The
Yeah. We have to go this, come somebody fix it. Where's Yashar? I am not a high tech. How you can eliminate this? Yeah, do it. Stay here if I push something by mistake.
Yeah.
Go back. Oh, good. That's good. Okay. What is the laser pointer then? He told me there's a laser pointer here. Yeah. Yeah, but this is very small. Okay. Let's go. Show you. Thickness. If you hold the fold, if the fold is 2 centimeter or more skinny thick, 1.5 centimeter or and above medium, less than 1 centimeter is thin. Now, question. Which one age faster? A woman or a man with thin skin, or a man or a woman with thick skin?
Thin.
Huh?
Thin.
Thin skin.
Thin.
Okay. They age at the same way, same age.
The same?
See, I always trick you. Aging has to do with the collagen and elastin. Okay? If you lose them, thin skin will show wrinkle early. Thick skin loses the tightness, jowl down. So that this become bulgy, this become jowly, eyebrow come droopy down. Wrinkles comes later. Thin skin, early wrinkles, jowling later. Thick skin, jowling first, wrinkles later. But they all age at the same time. Okay. See how I trick you? So thickness of the skin is also important in how deep I can go in a procedure. And what procedure I should select. Thin skin is the best skin for tightening. It's mean I do a peel, controlled depth blue peel, to the papillary dermis or IRD. They will tighten, looks wonderful. One procedure, I can tighten thin skin. In thick skin, I need 2 or 3 procedures to tighten that skin. See the difference? Now, I want to go deep, leveling for deep scars, deep wrinkles. Thick skin is safe. Medium is safe. Never safe in thin skin. See, that will show you how you select the procedure. So thick skin is great for leveling and tightening, but you need more procedure to tighten. That's when you do the radio frequency and all these devices that tighten the skin. You read about them. You see good result in some, bad result in some, no result in some. It's because you didn't measure skin thickness. That's how it's important. Thin skin, you'll never tighten. There's not enough collagen to shrink. Thick skin, you will improve to a degree. Medium thickness will best response. Now, I'll show you how we can use that. Leveling for thick skin safe. I can go to the upper articular dermis. Medium like thick. Thin. Maximum depth IRD. You cannot go to deeper than that. So that's the maximum depth. So now you know how to select the right depth. We covered that. Thick skin. You can make a boot, shoes out of the skin. So come thick. Here I will go deep with whatever procedure I do to improve it. And that means to get him that skin, to shed all the damage, I need to do a deep procedure. Medium thickness. Damaged. Dullness. I don't need to go deep. Here I want to go to the papillary dermis at maximum depth because the damage here, I need to just clear the surface. If I go to URD, safe, but she is black. In black, I will not do upper reticular dermis unless I see deep scars. And the patient understand that, yeah, I can live with my hypopigmentation. to give me smoother skin. So I RD level and creams. So thin skin is really, you have to work on it. This is good for tightening, never deep procedure. This is the tricky skin. Treatment like this. Here the O comes and shine. I will put here, I will build back skin. Understand this term, I'm building back skin. I'm going to stimulate the fibrocyte to produce collagen, elastin. With ZO, I'm going to repair the damaged DNA. We have DNA repair. I will suppress chronic inflammation from the sun. I will do all the ability to build back skin. So I put her in the cream. I did her papillary dermis level controlled their peel. And she gone to Arizona from California. And I saw her 5 years later. She keeps getting the ZO products and for 5 years. That's the same woman. Thicker skin, building skin. You cannot get this if you don't manipulate, control cellular function. Oiliness. That's a new observation. We didn't know about that when I had the new derm. Now I know a lot of things. Oiliness of the skin is the enemy of skin. You really have to eliminate sebum as much as possible. This concept that oily skin doesn't feel dry is wrong. How many patients with seborrheic dermatitis feel dry? How many patients with rosacea feel dry? They told you that. And the skin is oily. So oiliness has nothing to do with hydration. Hydration has to do with water. When you are in seborrheic dermatitis, why we call it dermatitis? Too much oil create contact dermatitis on skin surface, responded by immune response that disturb keratinization, and that's why you get the exfoliation and the redness, and the accumulation more of the region where the oil accumulates, here, behind the ear, where the oil sits. So, dryness has nothing to do also. If I tell you this, many dermatologists fall into the trick. Which skin doesn't feel dry? Or the age faster, oily or dry?
Same.
The age the same. Which skin has less water, oily or dry? Tell me, I'm going to trick you again.
The same.
Water has nothing to, oil has nothing to do with the hydration. If you have not enough glycosaminoglycan in the papillary dermis, the water, you have increased water, transepidermal water loss. Go, you will feel dry if you are oily. Same thing. So dryness has nothing. See, all this have to be clear. Show me which textbook of dermatology have outlined this for you. Because we focus on diseases. Show me one chapter in any dermatology textbook or journal talk about let's make skin healthy. I came up with that, invented the terms healthy skin in 1983. There was none, not known before. When I talked to the Academy of Dermatology first time in Dallas in 1992, I told them, I'm going to talk to you about healthy skin. They all laughed at me. They thought I'm crazy. After that, everybody now to put the word healthy skin. And a product that even will damage your skin, they put healthy skin. This is absolutely crazy. So, oiliness. Why it's important to know? Because if I'm doing procedure on a patient, my procedure definitely will stimulate sebaceous glands. Sebaceous gland will go crazy. So if the patient is acne prone, how many of you do laser resurfacing or peel resurfacing and notice after procedure flare up of acne or rosacea? That's, if so, you tie it up to the activation of oil glands. So if you are doing procedures, you have to understand, tell the patient, the moment you finish and you heal in 8 days or 10 days, I'm going to do this to stabilize the oily glands, to eliminate or reduce PIH and other things breaking out with pimples. So to do this, you have to understand, you cannot do active on active disease like this laser. Treat the disease. And now, if you still feel you need to correct